In the early 1990s, Dr. Elias Hawthorne, a brilliant geneticist working in the fictional town of Willow Springs, Illinois, dedicated his life to researching a peculiar gene known as the X gene. This gene, unbeknownst to the public, had a rare mutation linked to a staggering increase in cancer rates among those who carried it. As Elias delved deeper into his research, he discovered a potential cure that could halt the mutation, offering hope to millions who were at risk. Elias was a man of integrity, fiercely committed to his work. He began developing a groundbreaking treatment that targeted the X gene mutation, aiming to unveil his findings at an upcoming international conference. As his research gained traction, he garnered both admiration and scrutiny from the scientific community and the authorities. However, word of his discovery reached powerful pharmaceutical companies and government officials who had vested interests in keeping such knowledge under wraps. A cure could disrupt their lucrative cancer treatment markets, which relied heavily on ongoing therapies rather than permanent solutions. Just 2 days before he was set to present his findings to the world, Elias was found dead in his lab under suspicious circumstances. Authorities quickly labeled it an accidental death, citing a freak accident involving a laboratory mishap. But whispers of foul play began circulating among his colleagues, who were puzzled by the timing and circumstances surrounding his demise. As investigators closed the case, they overlooked critical evidence that suggested foul play, including security footage from the lab that mysteriously disappeared. Those close to Elias began receiving anonymous threats, warning them to keep quiet about his research and its implications. In the weeks that followed, Elias's notes and research papers vanished, seemingly wiped from existence. The authorities launched a campaign to discredit him, painting him as a fringe scientist who had overstepped ethical boundaries. Meanwhile, cancer rates continued to rise in Willow Springs, with families left in the dark about the genetic risks they faced. Years passed, and the X gene mutation remained a secret buried deep within the shadows of the scientific community. Dr. Hawthorne's name faded from memory, replaced by a cautionary tale of ambition and tragedy. Yet some of his former colleagues refused to let his work die with him. They formed a clandestine group dedicated to uncovering the truth about the X gene mutation, determined to honor Elias's legacy. With whispers of his research circulating in hushed tones, they began to piece together the remnants of his work, believing that one day they could bring his cure to light and expose the powerful forces that had silenced him. As they dug deeper, they realized that the battle against cancer was not just a medical fight, but a struggle against corruption and greed. Dr. Elias Hawthorne's story became a rallying cry for those seeking justice and transparency in a world where knowledge could mean life or death. The truth remained hidden, but the quest for justice continued, echoing the spirit of a man who dared to challenge the status quo.